Mic check, mic check. I think we're on. I think the microphone's on. We'll be doing our AD leads. Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is Friday Practice 1 ahead of the 2022 Monaco Grand Prix. Let's have it. If you are a Formula 1 fan, please do get yourself subscribed because I will be live for every single qualifying and race of the 2022 Formula 1 World Championship. And listen, a few practice sessions as well. Preview shows like I did yesterday. If you missed the preview show, by the way, go back and watch that. There's a lot of effort goes into those preview shows, so appreciate all the feedback and everything on those. But yeah, we're live for FP1. Who we got in the chat then? Ernesto's in, and Aways, yes, the Whiskey King and Mr. Man City himself. How are we doing? And we're on. This is the jewel in the crown, Monaco Grand Prix. Yeah, this is a big race, especially for Charles Leclerc as well. This is Charles Leclerc's biggest race of his career, especially after the luck he's had around here in the past. Leclerc's got to win at home today. Let me get the live timings up. They should be on now. And yeah, a nice day in Monaco today, 28 degrees, but rain showers forecast for Sunday. Now that will spice this up a treat. All good. Hope you're well. Doing club. Oh yeah, that'd be sick. That was good. The pro clubs the other night. Yeah, we'll be on that later probably. Either way, we'll be on. We'll be on tonight. Aways, get on it with us. Yeah, as Ted Kravitz is saying there, nothing beats the heritage of this Grand Prix. You know, there's a lot of debate about Monaco. You know, is it now outdated? It's a different ball game, Monaco. It's not driver v driver. You're not gonna have me screaming and shouting on Sunday, going, you know, another overtake for the lead. No, it's not that kind of a game. It's more about the drivers versus the circuit. It's more about the focus and concentration of the drivers to not make one single mistake. You could argue, really, in Monaco, the spectacle is qualifying. You could argue that seeing these cars on the limit in qualifying tomorrow is the highlight of the weekend. You know, millimeters from the barriers, balls to the wall, qualifying laps tomorrow. That's where it's at. The race itself, the rain will spice it up. But put it this way, what position you qualify is probably what position you're going to finish. The drivers, it's very, very difficult to overtake in the race. But it's just about... Wow, look at how clumsy he looked like Raskas then, looking at Charles Leclerc. And they do look big. The cars these days do look too big for Monaco. Bit of a madness, really. Yes, Jordan. Yeah. I'm not gonna have a crazy mad one. Because we've got quali tomorrow, and if I'm still up by the time it gets to quali tomorrow, it's all gone wrong. But yeah, I'll be on it. Looking at Carlos Sainz, then he looks like the first driver who's on a bit of a flying lap. Look at how this sort of, it's weird, like round Rascasse, the front of the car's like bobbing up and down a bit. It's weird. That must be with the stiffness of the front suspension. The front suspension must be so stiff round here that they're coming round Rascasse literally with the offloaded front right tyre virtually bobbing up and down. Madness. Everyone on the hard tyre then, except for two Ferraris who come out of the garage straight onto the mediums. It is the softest 3 compounder tyres here, so you've got the C3, C4 and C5 tyre, softest tyres in the Pirelli range this weekend. And you need it around Monaco, man. Yes, Tax, welcome in, bro. How are we doing? Yeah, Science is saying the ride is really bad, and it looks really bad. You know, looking at Science going round, man, it does look an uncomfortable ride. That, like we're saying, that front suspension looks rock solid, mate. But it is nice to see these cars around Monaco. It's like Martin Brundle was saying in the build-up, like, you've got to take your pleasure from Monaco in a different way. Is it going to be wheel-to-wheel racing, battling for position? No. But is it? It's its own spectacle, Monaco. It's a different breed. You know, the history, the heritage, the fact that you make one tiny mistake, boom, you're in the wall, you're out. You know, it's the focus of the drivers. You've got to get in a certain rhythm. I mean, look at how tight this hairpin is. Tightest hairpin and the slowest speed in the Formula 1 calendar there. You know, it's full lock. It's full lock at 30 mile an hour to get around that hairpin. You know, what other circuit in the calendar has? And this is what it's about. You need the variation in the calendar. You can't have all modern circuits in the Middle East, or, you know, you can't have all street circuits either. You can't have all big open fast race circuits like Silverstone and Spa. You know, you can't have all the races at night. You can't have and this adds a different angle, and it's part of the variation of the calendar, and they've got to keep it, man, because there's a lot of debate at the moment about whether to keep Monaco on the calendar. They've got to keep it. You know, it's a different challenge is what I'm getting at. It's a different challenge for the drivers. It's about focus, concentration, getting in a rhythm. Also, winning in Monaco it comes with massive prestige. Winning the Monaco Grand Prix, you know, it's probably a lot of drivers' absolute dream. The picture's breaking up a lot. I'm noticing this coverage so far. I don't know what's happening. Whether it's something with the signal, whether it's something that's just affecting me. But yeah, the signal is breaking up on the on some of the footage that we've seen so far. But yeah, it's such a prestigious circuit, and it is probably a lifelong dream for most of these drivers to win the Monaco Grand Prix. You know, it comes as part of the old Triple Crown, and the Triple Crown, which I think only one driver's ever done the Triple Crown. I think that's Graham Hill. And the Triple Crown is Monaco Grand Prix victory, Indy 500 victory, which is also on the same day as this. Is also on Sunday afternoon as well. Indy 500 and Le Mans 24 hour. I think only Graham Hill's won all three. Three different, obviously 3 different series, 3 different, completely different techniques, styles. You know, you got your endurance, you got your ovals, you got your tricky. And the thing is, drivers these days, they don't dip around the series. You know, you don't see a Formula 1 driver typically like doing, you know, only like Alonso in recent years has been dipping around doing. In fact, Alonso's the only one that's given the Triple Crown a good go. Because Alonso won in Monaco in his Renault days, like 04, 05. No, or did he win for McLaren in 07? He might have won it for McLaren. But Alonso's won the Monaco Grand Prix. And I think he's got Le Mans as well for Toyota. So Alonso's got 2 out of 3, but will he get that Indy 500 victory? Well, he's not competing this year, is he? Because it clashes on the same day. But I think another driver that's got 2 out of 3 is Juan Pablo Montoya. He's got 2 out of 3. He's got Monaco Grand Prix victory, I think. And he's got Indy 500. But Juan Pablo Montoya hasn't got Le Mans 24 hour, and he's getting a bit of the he's getting a bit on the older. He's getting a bit at the end of his career now, so he may not pull off the Triple Crown. But this is what I mean, though. Monaco comes with that history, comes with that prestige, so you can't just sling it off the calendar. And yeah, 9 out of 10 races around Monaco are forgetful. You know, the leader on lap 1, 9 times out of 10 is the leader on lap 78, unless they have a reliability issue or unless we have some rain. If we have rain on Sunday, all bets are off. In fact, I think it's been a good while since we had a wet Monaco Grand Prix. I remember 2008 Monaco Grand Prix was wet, and that was chaos. Hamilton hit the wall, got a puncture early on, and still came through to win the race in 2008. So you can have, with a sprinkling of rain, that really does change the game. But Monaco's all on the quali. Monaco's all on the quali tomorrow. If Leclerc can bag pole tomorrow, that's massive. I don't know what the pole position to victory ratio is, but I imagine it's probably the highest on the calendar. It's got to be up there. 70-80% of the people that get pole go on to win, because you get a good start and you lead into turn 1. And you're on a good tyre strategy. I mean, I even remember Daniel Ricciardo winning this race a couple of years, well, probably 3-4 years ago now. And I'm sure he had like engine problems. And he'd lost like he'd lost the hybrid power, or he'd lost a big chunk of horsepower, and he still won the race because he could keep Lewis behind him despite the reliability issues. He could keep people behind him anyway, because it's that narrow. Unless someone does a proper dive bomb. Whoa, Lewis is with his special edition crash helmet for Lewis Hamilton this weekend. I've seen a picture of it. It's like supposed to look like it's carved out of amethyst or something. It's a bit of a weird one, but from a distance it just looks like a like a white helmet. It looks like the Stig driving around, just a plain white helmet from a distance. It's only when you see it up close it's like purple crystals and stuff. But yeah, Lewis with his special edition Monaco helmet, as well as Charles Leclerc. He's gone with a special edition Monaco helmet as well, half red, half white, to match the Monaco flag, because he's racing at home. And then the other person who I've seen with a Monaco special edition crash helmet this weekend is Sergio Perez. He's gone with this grey, with a grey one. Here we are on board then with Max Verstappen. Yellow flag in sector 1. What are we going to cut to here? Cut 2. Leclerc's gone the runoff area. Turn 1. That is a bit of an escape road. If you brake too late for turn 1, you can just bail out of it. It's one of the few places where you can make a mistake and get away with it. He's late on the brakes, and you just bailed out and gone down the escape road. Then he's just going to pull a quick 180 and he's back. Leclerc bailing out of that one. Yeah, no worries, Ernesto. Welcome in, Ryan Tune. How we doing, bro? Welcome in, Mr. Tune. No one's stacked it yet then. First 15 minutes incident free. That's a plus for everyone. It's about survival more than anything, this. On board with Yuki Tsunoda then for a lap. Oh, he's unsure there going into turn 1. 2 or 3 attempts. Turning it in. Bit of understeer. Up over the crest of the hill then. Into Casino, and he's already backed out of it. So he didn't fancy that. Did young Yuki Tsunoda. Didn't fancy that one. Looks like Sergio Perez then winding up for a lap. Whoa, Perez on a lap here. Looks a nice lap. This just shows how tight and twisty this circuit is. When you see an onboard lap like this, it just brings it home to you just how much of a different challenge this is to all the other circuits on the F1 calendar. This, you're millimetres from the barrier at all times. There's no margin for error whatsoever. I mean, look how quick that chicane is, and then swimming pool chicane. We see many drives in the wall there. Yellow flag in sector 3. What we're going to cut to here? Oh, queuing in the pit lane. Schumacher's stopped on the entry of the pit lane. That's not good. Oh no. That is not a good place for Mick Schumacher to break down across the pit lane entry, completely blocking it. Oh, sorry, this is not a replay, Natalie. Wow, Magnussen nearly crashed at the swimming pool chicane. Oh, wow. He comes sideways through the... Wow. He comes sideways through the chicane. But here we go for Mick Schumacher then. Why has he ended up blocking the pit lane? This is mad. This is not the place to be, Mick. He needs to get it into false neutral. Red flag. Red flag because Mick Schumacher's blocking the pit lane entry. I don't know how he's ended up there, but this is the worst place to stop. The worst place to stop is widthways across the pit lane entry. Like, if you could pick a place not to break down, that's it. So, immediate red flag. But the thing is, with him blocking the pit lane, with him blocking the pit lane entry, they can't even get back into the pits anyway, so stop the session. But no, he's on. They've put him on a tray. They've put the car on a dinner tray, and now they're wheeling him down. This looks. Yeah, they've put him on a dinner tray and now they're just wheeling the car down the pit lane. This looks proper dodgy, this. But what a place to break down, man. Here we are for a replay then, with Mick Schumacher. Comes around Raskas. Right. Turn in. Oh, what are you doing, bro? Oh, that's some madness, that. I don't know. I don't know. I think at the last second he's trying to get across the pit lane and off into the marshal's post. He's like bailed out of it the last second, but the car just died. So red flag. Shouldn't be too long anyway. Well, they've moved his car out of the way at least, so everyone's able to come back into the pits, but it's an unnecessary red flag, really. But yeah, early on the first 20 minutes of FP1, then Verstappen quickest on a 1 minute 15.3. Two Ferraris just quarter of a second, half a second behind that, second and third. Ricardo up there in P4 at the minute, a full second off the pace though. But they've not really set representative lap times yet. I would bet, you know, a good chunk of this grid is not. They've not done a proper push lap yet. I wouldn't say. See where we are by the end of the session, and by the end of FP2 we'll get more of a picture of who's where. But session resume at 14:24. All right, the session's about to resume in a few seconds, but they fancy an ad break, don't they? So we're not going to see the resumption of the session. I might as well put the green flag back on, because the session is underway, even if we're on an ad break or not. The session's back underway. Is the I tell you what's not updating. That. Because it's definitely not Verstappen, Albon, Russell. So what I am going to do a refresh on that. Because the live timing, again, with issues. As always. Yeah, let it just load up. Here we go. That's it. There we go. Put it like that. And that should get all the drivers in it. There we go. Oh, in fact, let me take that and then just stretch it out a little bit so we can see the lap times. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So Verstappen with the early pace and on a 1:15.3. Two Ferraris, Ricciardo up there in fourth and seventh at the moment for McLaren. Good start. But yeah, Bottas not even done a proper lap time yet. It's still at very early days. Let's see if anyone gives it the full beans before the end of the session. Well, yeah, after that bit of a bizarre incident of Mick Schumacher blocking the pit lane, they've shifted him out of the way. And session back underway. But yeah, this one's all on the quali tomorrow. 3 o'clock. 3 p.m. UK time for qualifying tomorrow. That's the big one. You know, qualifying in Monaco is more important than any other qualifying session of the season. Too many adverts, man. Come on. Here we go. Watch, they'll cut and there'll be someone in the wall now. Nothing like a sunny day in Monaco with the cars steaming round. Nothing like it on the F1 calendar, man. Oh, it's fantastic. Looks like Norris is on a lap as well. Norris with a special edition crash helmet as well. Then he's gone like a half and half. Oh, rapid over the chicane. Oh, he's on a lap. Looks so good when they're pushing the limits round here. It looks epic, man. When they're on a lap round here, it looks phenomenal. Goes up to P3, then Lando Norris. But this is the circuit. This is the opposite of the last race. In Spain, you know, I was saying in Spain, you can't wangle it. If you've got a car that's off the pace in Spain, you're done. Like, for example, Williams were on board with Nicholas Latifi, right? If you've got the worst chassis on the grid, you've got the worst car on the grid, in Spain you found out you're going to be at the back. But in Monaco's the opposite. The driver can make a difference here. If you pull together an absolute perfect lap, you can make a difference. The driver can make more of a difference compared to his equipment than any other circuit on the calendar. So I remember watching Robert Kubica around here years ago. This is like 10, 11 years ago. Well, more than that. You're talking 2010. Robert Kubica around here. Now, he was driving a Renault that wasn't, you know, it was like probably the fourth fastest car. So like the equivalent of like the McLaren. You know, the equivalent of like the McLaren or the Alfa Romeo. And he was rapid. He was like consistently fastest in like the practice sessions, qualifying, absolutely rapid. Because guess what? Robert Kubica was just on the limit. And it didn't matter that I mean, in 2010 he was quick, you know. It didn't matter that the Red Bull was quicker or the Ferrari was quicker or the McLaren was quicker. Robert Kubica in that Renault, you these laps are on YouTube. You know, you put Kubica, which you spell, it's a weird one, Kubica, Kubica, Monaco 2010, right? And it'll come up with a qualifying lap or a lap in like a practice session like this. Mate, it's on the limit. So it didn't matter whether he was in the fastest car or the fifth fastest car, he was rapid round Monaco, so the driver can make a feasible, an actual difference, which is rare in Formula One. It's rare. So you could have like a Lando Norris here. In every other race on the calendar, he's going to be out of it because guess what? He hasn't got the car. So the best he can hope for is like a P6 on the grid or something like that. But in Monaco, he can put together 3 perfect sectors, absolutely on the limit through the swimming pool chicane, through every single corner. He can absolutely bang together a perfect lap and bang it on pole. And that's what makes this a one-off. And that's why you've got to love the Monaco Grand Prix. It can just pull... It can kind of... In a way, the cream rises to the top in Monaco. You see who's really on it and who's not so much on it. Yes, Denver, how we doing, lad? I'm evil. I know you're evil, lad. How are we doing? I was on a bit of a ramble one. Well, yeah, getting on it tonight. We'll be on it later, D-Lid. How are we doing, bro? On board with Sebastian Vettel then. And this hairpin, mate, absolutely full lock round here. And you've got to be careful about taking too much curb. Through the tunnel they go then, absolutely flat out round it. You can already see like the floor scraping along the floor there. Down the hill then. Into this tight chicane. Now this is a quick left-hander. You've got to be so careful not to hit the wall on the outside. Through the chicane, nearly flat out. You've got to be careful around it. This is where all the accidents happen. Bouncing over the curb there. Hitting the wall on the entry became a bit of a theme a couple of years ago. Everybody hitting the wall on the entry to the to that chicane. Round Anthony Nozel, final corner to the line for Sebastian Vettel then. He's well off the pace. Damn right, lad, just cracked me first beverage getting. Well, yeah, you're like 6-7 hours ahead, innit? So it's like 7-8 PM there. I'm still on the orange juice, D-Lid. What time are you going live, Dev? What time are you thinking of, D-Lid? 26 minutes to go then in FP1. We're already more than halfway through the session, and look at that then. Look at the gap at the top. Lando Norris on a 15.3, Verstappen 26 thousandths of a second slower, and Lewis Hamilton, who I've predicted for the win in a Madman Predictions, and Norris then does a 15 flat going 0.3 of a second. Early signs, very early signs, show that Lando Norris is on it this weekend. Yuki Tsunoda up there as well. I've noticed he's these are the circuits where, like I was saying, the driver can make a difference. You can get an odd result. I'd love to see like a Yuki Tsunoda, boom, up there in the top 5, pulling a perfect lap out of the bag, or just someone you don't expect. 2 to 3 hours and full DRS, mate. yeah. Get in touch with the lads. We can do a bit of clubs if you're up for it. But yeah, Lando Norris and Ricciardo pops up into P2 then. Good early pace from McLaren. Obviously, like I'm saying, early days, and you got to respect the fact that Max Verstappen's still on the harder, slower tyres. Vettel up there in P4, but he's on the soft tyres, so he's a bit out of sync with everyone. Most of them are on the set those lap times on the medium tyre. In fact, that won't be updating, will it? Let me there we go, that's updating now. Yeah, Norris and Ricciardo at the top, Verstappen, Vettel, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Gasly, Leclerc, Sainz, and everyone back in the pits then for a change of tyres. Oh, replay, Lewis Hamilton then almost in the wall. Is that to back? Is that to corner? Whoa, Lewis Hamilton millimetres from going in the wall there. Wow. Yes, lad. Diff onto GTA first. Get in there, the lit. A bit of a GTA one. Yes, Steve, welcome in, bro. 23 minutes to go in FP1. McLaren looking quick early doors. I'd be up for McLaren being quick this weekend, definitely. Lando Norris pulling something wild out of the bag. Bring it on. Daniel Ricciardo, Daniel Ricciardo needs a good result. Even his boss, Zach Brown, come out saying, a couple of days ago, saying Daniel Ricciardo's not lived up to our expectations. Heavy words, man. If Ricciardo could pull something out of the bag this weekend, that's a really big result and needs to start turning it round. But looking good. Gasly pops up into P2 then. I think the track's also ramping up as well. As they go round, the track's gripping up, it's getting hotter. And it just gets faster and faster. So Pierre Gasly popping up into P2. But yeah, early signs then are good for AlphaTauri as well. He's had a bit of a dodgy start to the season as AlphaTauri. Not really. What if they scored 17 points, I think? Just scraping a couple of top tens, but nothing major this season. Could this be a big one? They're just talking about that now on the commentary. They're saying Russell purple sector 1 then, fastest of anybody. He's on a bit of a lap. Oh, what a view from those spectators then. Oh, fantastic view round here. Round Rascasse comes George Russell then. The front end still bouncing around on the ground. The front suspension's absolutely rock solid. Pops up into P3 then, George Russell on a 15.2. Norris leads the way on a 15 flat. So only a tenth and a half off the pace for George Russell. Yes, Josh, how are we going, bro? Welcome in. Last 20 minutes of the first practice session ahead of the 2022 Monaco Grand Prix. McLaren looking decent straight out of the bat. And AlphaTauri looking decent. Gasly up there in P2. Tsunoda on a lap right now. Out of the final corner comes Yuki Tsunoda then. What kind of a lap time can he set? Up to P8 then. But not looking bad at all. Mercedes 3rd and 7th at the minute. Lewis hasn't come out of the pitch yet from the change of tyres in the middle of the session. Yes, the lads. I'm surprised no one's put it in the wall, to be honest. You know, apart from Mick Schumacher's issue earlier on, and that, I don't know what happened there with whether it's an engine issue, gearbox, hydraulics. I have no idea what happened to Mick Schumacher, but the car conked out in the pit lane entry. But apart from that, no one's really. As we see a replay, Alexander Albon. As I say, no one's crashed, no one's stacked it yet. Alexander Albon, this close from crashing, coming out of the tunnel, and it is a susceptible place to have an accident there. You come out of the tunnel and the track goes heavily downhill heading into the tight chicane, and what happens is they hit the brakes as it starts going downhill, and if you just get it wrong or you hit the brakes too hard and you just get it wrong, as if you slam on the brakes as the car goes light over the crest of the hill as it starts coming down, you should lose all grip. And you've seen it many times where they just absolutely, I mean, Kimi Räikkönen did it in 2008, lost the rear end, bang, and seen that happen at least half a dozen times in the last 15-20 years. I think Leclerc's done that as well. You've got to be careful when you hit the brakes coming down the hill. And Alexander Albon had a wiggly rear end coming down there. Then I'll tell you what, that was close to being a proper incident. Verstappen purple then on sector 2 and sector 3. 14-7. Verstappen pops into P1. Yeah, Verstappen gone for a proper lap. 14-7 then for Max Verstappen. Changes the bar. And Perez pops up into P2, then makes it a Red Bull 1-2. Couple of tenths off the pace. Pushes Norris down to third now. And looks like Sainz is winding up for a lap then. Sainz needs a good weekend. You know, made that mistake last time out in Spain. Had his home race off in turn 4 he was. He'd love to win the Monaco Grand Prix, as they all would, but I think especially Sainz would be... and he should have got pole position here. Was it last year? I think it was last year that Carlos Sainz was on for pole position, and but Leclerc crashed in qualifying, and obviously that brought out the red flag, and so Sainz wasn't able to finish that lap. So then that changes the whole weekend. If Sainz gets pole this time last year, he can go on to win the race. A yellow flag in sector 1 as Verstappen gone off. It's showing us Verstappen stopped at turn 1. We're yet to cut to it on the television feed. Whoa, Sainz across the... Sainz straight across the thing. Right, yeah. Verstappen didn't crash then. He must have bailed out of turn 1. Whoa, has he got issues? Here we go for replay. What happened to Max Verstappen in turn 1? Massive lock-up, and he's just bailed out onto the... exit road there. That is the one mistake, like I was saying before, that is the one place where you can make a mistake and get away with it. Yeah, massive lock up on the inside. The inside tyre. Quarter of an hour to go then. So Verstappen gone quickest. Leclerc pops in a lap time then to go 34 thousandths of a second slower. So it looks like Another race, another weekend of Verstappen versus Leclerc. So close. If a few of the other drivers can get involved, I'm all for it. Perez then finishes his lap up to P3. Look at that, a 10th between the top three. 10th of a second. So yeah, Verstappen and Leclerc both done a 14.7. Perez on a 14.8. So close at the front. Whoa, as we see Pierre Gasly holding up Lance Stroll. That was a bit of a naughty one, but it's difficult to get out of the way in Monaco. There's going to be a lot of complaining in qualifying about traffic, I tell you that now. 20 cars around Monaco in qualifying, in Q1 especially, the first part of qualifying tomorrow, it's going to be chaos. Everybody getting in everyone's way, especially because they do these ridiculously slow out laps as well. So you have people looking after the tyres, trying to nurse the tyres round, and someone else on a flying lap giving it full beans. It's just going to create chaos tomorrow. But look at this on board with Lando Norris then, helmet cam. This is a new addition for this season and it's fantastic. Seeing a lap of Monaco from the driver's eye view inside the crash helmet. Through the tunnel then, flat out. Down the hill into the chicane and he's missed it. He's missed the entry to the chicane. Cuts right across as we got yellow flags again in Sector 1. What has happened in Sector 1? Oh, and it's a Haas. Same thing as Verstappen. Down the, I think it's Kevin Magnussen. Down the skate road. Gets away with it. And he's back underway. Yeah, Leclerc fastest of anyone in Sector 1. Then Leclerc on a flying lap. Yeah, he looks absolutely on it. Yellow flagged in Sector 1 again. It seems like everyone's going out down that escape road at the minute. But Leclerc on a flyer. Down into Raskas then. For Charles Leclerc. Is he about to put it P1 with 11 minutes to go in practice 1? Charles Leclerc to the line then. And does go quickest on a 14.5. Nearly 2/10 quicker than Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. Looks like Sainz is on a lap as well. So they're coming out of the shell now. They're giving it some beans now. Ferraris are on it. Sainz not looking as quick as Leclerc though early on. Sainz to the line then. Up into P2. Wow. 7/100ths of a second slower than Leclerc. And it is now a Ferrari 1-2. Leclerc from Sainz, Verstappen and Perez 3rd and 4th. Norris still up there in P5, but now half a second off the pace along with Pierre Gasly. Replay with Kevin Magnussen and into turn 1, exactly the same as Max Verstappen. Locks that inside. What would that be? His right tyre. Locks his... locks the inside right tyre. And just decides, I'm not even going to attempt going round turn 1. I'm going to bail out, go down the escape road, pull a little pirouette, and on we go. Cut to Sergio Perez. He looks like he's on a lap as well. 10 minutes to go in this first practice session. Ferrari versus Red Bull is on. Less than 0.2 of a second between the top three. Perez to the line then, pops up into P2, makes it Ferrari, Red Bull, Ferrari, Red Bull. And now there's 0.2 of a second between the top four. Wow, this is really game on. This is really game on for Monaco now. This is extremely close. Leclerc on a 14.531. And look at that. 14.57, 14.60. Wow. And then a half a second, 0.4 of a second gap to Lando Norris in fifth. But wow, where's Mercedes? If Mercedes can come to that party and get in amongst the Ferraris and Red Bulls, then you've got an absolute... But where's Lou? We need to see Hamilton and Russell. Or maybe that's all they've got. I mean, how far are they off the pace at the minute? Russell on a 15.2. That's like 7-8 tenths off the pace. I think Lewis is winding up for a lap now. Come on, I'd love to see Hamilton get involved there. Go bang, P3 or something. Then it's game on. 3 cars in the fight for the victory is what we want for this season. Yeah, Lowe's hairpin is called. Yellow flag sector 1. Look at the smoke. Someone's had a big lock-up. Perez with the same mistake then. They're all locking up into turn 1, that front right tyre, and just bailing out and going straight in on down the escape road. But I love how close it is between those top 4. Yeah, Perez just maybe got distracted by Vettel in the Aston Martin in front of him, and immediately locks up. That seems to be the mistake of the day. Into turn 1. Cut to Lando Norris. Still up there in P5, but you know, as soon as Ferrari and Red Bull have come out of the shell and delivered the hot laps, they've taken it to a different level. And can Norris keep up? He's got traffic in Raskas then. Pierre Gasly getting properly in the way. Pierre Gasly looked like he's winding up to start a lap, clashing with Norris, who's just coming up to the end of the lap. Hamilton with his crash helmet this weekend looking like the Stig, looking like a plain white helmet. Of course, it's only when you see it close up that you realise it's like a pale purple with made to look like it's a gemstone. But yeah, 5 minutes to go, then it's soon gone, this practice session. And guys at the front separated by nothing. Like I was saying before though, surprised we've not seen anyone in the barrier. Really surprised. We've not seen any serious mistakes. Everyone's gone off on in turn 1, but you can get away with it there. Daniel Ricciardo then on a push lap. Wow. Sainz cuts across. Sainz was quick in the first sector, but he's messed it up. Ricciardo then finishes lap 15.1, goes up into P7. Where are Mercedes? Why Mercedes 8th and 10th? I don't like it. Have they not shown the hand? Are Mercedes a second off the pace, or are they not showing the full potential? If that is the full potential, and Lewis and George have gone for a proper lap, and you know, Lewis is a second off the pace, my prediction's in the bin. Because I've gone on a full Madman predictions. This was my prediction. It's P10. Your man's P10, Lewis Hamilton. So that prediction not looking the best, but you never know. You never know. I've also got Esteban Ocon podium, and he is currently 16th. So, you know, I'm your man. I've had a shocker. It looks like I've had a shocker with the predictions this time. I'm not going to lie. I think I might have had an absolute shocker. But early days. There's another couple of sessions before we even get to qualifying yet. So, you know, you never know. I'd say it's unlikely. You get good odds down Willie Hills anyway, on what I've predicted. Tell you that. On board helmet cam then with Charles Leclerc 10th and a half off in sector 1. It looks like what the positions are now is what the session's going to finish in. 2.5 minutes to go. Don't think anyone's going to improve now. Yeah. Down into Portier. Careful with the downhill. There's even a little bit of porpoise in there coming out of the tunnel, and he's cut the chicane. Lap over. Hamilton's saying on team radio, it's so bouncy out here, I'm losing my mind. I think that's because they've had to put the suspension so stiff. I did see, who was it early on? It was one of the Ferraris early on, it looked like. Looked a really uncomfortable ride. And Lewis in the Mercedes confirming that it's not the most comfortable round here. Wind yourself up for 78 laps on Sunday, Lewis. Heavy one. But McLaren 5th and 7th, not bad at all. Gasly's still up there in P6, half a second off the pace. Not bad at all, really. But they're all on the mediums. Vettel up there in P9, but he's on the soft tyres. Both Aston Martins on the soft. The top guys, you know, the top 8 haven't run the soft tyres this weekend so far. They might come out in P2 later on this afternoon. I'm not doing practice 2. We've seen practice 1. I'll be back for qualifying tomorrow. It'll be the next one. Tax again, throwing his money down the grid. What have you got this time? £30 on Ricciardo to get a podium. Every race, Tax. Every race, I tell you. Don't bother. But one day, listen, I've told you this before, by the time you win it back, you'll break even, lad. Because you've thrown away that many $30 that by the time you win your $400, that's paid for all the times you've lost. But yeah, Ricardo podium, I'd be up for that. Yeah, unlikely. That's why you're getting 400 quid back off it. But it's not impossible. Like I said last week, I think you had the same thing in Spain, and I think I said, like, it's not in the realm of like impossible. It's just in the realm of really. But it's not in the realm of like utter ridiculousness. You're not banging 35 quid on like Latifi. But it is an unlikely one. But yeah, that's the end of the session. Hamilton only P8 and P10 for Mercedes. That's not what I was hoping for those guys. Leclerc does finish the session quickest end at 1 minute 14.5, wasn't beaten. Perez on a 14.5, Sainz on a 14.5. So close between the top four, only 0.2 of a second in it. But yeah, that's it. This outro screen is going to say that I'll be back for practice 2, but I'm not doing practice 2. It's the same as this, isn't it? It's exactly the same. We're not going to learn anything else by going live for practice 2. I'll actually be back, despite what this screen is going to say in a minute. I'll actually be back for qualifying tomorrow at 10 to 3 for qualifying at 3 p.m. and that's more important than anywhere else on the F1 calendar. So listen, guys, peace out, and I will catch you tomorrow at 10 to 3. See you later, guys. Peace out.